You are now tuned in to the new Old Heads podcast, brought to you by BringingDownTheBand.com. No bad ideas, Coleman Dental and Printfinity. I am Major 7th. I make beats and I have the t-shirts to prove it. And straight in front of me is the one and only Lonegevity.
Hello.
But you had some jazz fingers there?
Just fingers.
Okay, I thought they had jazz on them. Caddy Corner.
Yeah.
DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's going on, my brother?
I'm chilling.
I see you got the NBA logo on. You excited about that
I
league?
was born to be a basketball player. I was born to be a football player.
Shout out to 50 Tyson, man. Get your boy, man. And to my immediate left, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
I can't complain, man. How's everything with you?
Everything's good, man.
Yeah?
Just working.
Are we going to play golf a couple more times before the season?
I'd like
ends?
to, dude. We're getting there.
Okay.
To where we need to.
Hey, Topgolf is
that
about
happen.
to open on the 13th.
That's going to be a good look.
Is that the one in Fishers?
Yep, right
Nice.
across from Portillo's.
Yeah, that's going to be a good look.
Wait.
Shout out to Topgolf.
When did the Portillo's open?
It opened last week. I've
did the
already
Portillo's.
indulged.
Chicago. Oh,
All
yes.
right. All right.
I went up there on Sunday.
Portillo's got that work.
They got that work, man. I'm sorry. I had to have me a Italian beef.
You had a
Nice.
I did.
maple?
Nah, just regular with the
Maple.
sweet and hot peppers on that joint.
Yeah.
Dipped.
How you feel?
I felt good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you judge yourself when you got home?
I didn't.
Okay.
Because I already knew what I was getting into.
I want you to come home and sit on it and just enjoy it. Like that mug was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Drive
but
home.
when you get one and go, take it to the crib, you don't want to get it dipped, though. You want to get your sauce on the side.
Fair enough.
That's
Side
how
sauce.
I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time, man. I might have to check that mug out.
It was packed. It was crazy.
I'm sure it was. Everyone in Chicago was always full, and they used to it, so I can imagine what it is here.
I get one every time I'm on my way back home from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They got some out south that I love, so shout out to Portillo's, man. They got their work. Fries
Yes.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Episode
Ask them
49.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I don't have anything. Spoolz went through a couple options.
Tony
He's a
Richardson.
sports guy.
Sure.
Tony Richardson.
He was a fullback for the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
For who?
Chiefs.
So it's between him and Shandon Anderson, Knicks and Heat. Role player, not really.
Yeah, Richardson was one of the best at his position when he played.
Fullback.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he there when the Nigerian Nightmare was there?
Wow.
I don't know.
I
Christian
think he was-
Okoye? No, I think he was
Yeah.
there when like Priest Holmes was there.
Okay.
Christian Okoye was cold. That's before their time.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was
cold.
that's when
Oh, no.
on Techmo Bowl,
Don't
you
get
was either the
started.
Chiefs or the Raiders.
Or the Lions if
or
you
the
got
Bears
Barry
if
Sanders.
you had
That's
Walter
true.
Payton.
Barry Sanders.
Was Walter Payton still playing?
In the original Tecmo Bowl, he's on that one.
I'm
Okay.
talking about Super Bowl.
It's Nick Anderson.
Neil Anderson.
Neil.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Super Bowl had Barry Sanders. You can get 3 carries for 350 yards.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you know how to do it.
Randall Cunningham, sweep,
Yeah.
up or down.
Eagles,
Mhm.
Randall
Eagle.
Cunningham, or
Yes, sir.
Vikings, Randall Cunningham?
Eagles, Randall
Eagles all
Cunningham.
day.
Yeah, he was in his prime on Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson was a fool, though.
Stupid.
Jerry Rice. Interception.
Chiefs was probably arguably the best team on that game, though.
It was some racial profiling on that game, though, because Christian Okoye, he was darker than Bo Jackson.
Man.
Christian Okoye was like this color on Tecmo Super Bowl. Bo Jackson,
granted that is true, but technology wasn't so great.
they couldn't have blended him up a little bit better than that.
It was
Have you-
pixels.
Have you seen the music related? Have you seen the Red Bull series called Digging in the Carts?
No.
Mm-mm.
And it's all based around how video game music was made
No, I haven't seen it.
from like the 80s and the 90s and how small, like NES. And so Sega was what? Was that 8-bit or 16? It was
Started
16.
at 8, and then
started at
Genesis
8.
was 16.
Genesis was 16, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that's how small the amount of like file they had to work with, which is why the synthesizers sounded the way they did and why they progressed throughout the years.
For the music.
It's like a 5 or 6 part series. You should check it out though.
I
That's
will, man.
interesting.
What is it called again? I want to
Digging in the Carts.
Digging in the Carts.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to remember that. That's put on by Red Bull.
It's,
Okay.
It's a couple years old, but
Shout out
Does
to Red Bull.
Mega Ran
it's on. We
does
actually
he
got it on there.
have something to do with that?
No, but Mega Ran, he was sponsored by Capcom and
Right.
Mega Man, just
Mm.
because he put out a a project based around Mega Man, and then Capcom said, "Hey, this is pretty cool. We want to sponsor you."
That's cool.
He hit a,
I like Mega
so-
Ran.
he hit a star on that. That's love.
He's good people. He's a great live performer.
Word.
I know my man Daniel Mendoza, who's a community member.
Nice.
He's a big Mega Ran fan. So
That's what's up.
I've got a Mega Ran remix out there somewhere.
I want to check that out, man, because
He was on TMZ.
That sounds real creative. I want to definitely check that out.
It's really, really cool. It really digs into a different side of production because it talks about, the limitations that they had, like making music back then, and the uniqueness around the 8-bit
Resources
sound.
were very limited back then.
Yeah.
So we were so excited about the game it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you get what you get and you roll with it.
But it's amazing how those soundtracks, we still know a lot of them.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Especially like Street Fighter and,
Sonic theme, the Mario theme.
Contra, stuff like that.
yeah,
I was just playing Contra like 2 weeks ago.
I played it on the way back from Chicago.
It doesn't
been
give you
like
100 men when you do the code anymore. It gives you 30.
First of all, we were driving back home from Chicago. He has his laptop in his lap.
Yeah.
And the volume is turned all the way up, and all you can hear is video games. And he's sitting passenger side with the keyboard, just like doing that, playing. Was it Contra? Is that what it was?
There's a handful of them. I was playing Super.
He
Techmo
played
Bowl
like
too.
3 or 4 different games, and all you could hear was just
video game music.
video game music the whole time. It's
Nice.
pretty great trip for me. Worked well for me. Episode 49 it is. We can just call this the
Tony Richardson.
fullback episode, I guess.
The
Tony
damn
Richardson.
near a year episode.
I know.
Let's talk about that for a moment before we go into the rundown.
Yeah.
This is episode 49 of the New Old Heads podcast. Bringing down the band.com, by the way. Shameless plug. There we are again. It's crazy because I know the effort that we put into it prior to our first episode being taped.
Mm-hmm.
The rehearsals, just trying to figure this whole thing out, like coming together and actually figuring this thing out, putting ideas together. And it's really, really dope to see how far we've come from a setup standpoint, from a structure standpoint, how it flows. Like, it's really been fun. Like, this has been a great experience thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very dope.
Public figures, huh?
Well, we are, but we have 2 that are on their way. Just so y'all know, we got 2 more public figure pages that you guys might see a little later on, but we'll see.
maybe.
Why?
I did say after episode 50.
He did.
Did you?
I'm
Oh,
literally
you
I'm
committed?
literally gonna put like if there's like a tagline, it'll be like Sean and Mike made me do this.
Yes.
That's all those.
And we're fine with that, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the Instagram page from way back in the day.
Yep. I
Yeah.
used that 0.
I know. It had
I
that-
And then I killed it.
I tag Spoolz and so much stuff on Instagram, and it's just like hashtag DJ Spoolz. And like when you click on the hashtag, it don't take you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta shout my man out regardless.
But
So,
I think if you do it, if it goes to Twitter, it
Yeah.
might tag him on Twitter maybe.
on his Twitter handle,
Possibly.
I might start doing. I gotta figure out if I could do that. So we ain't forgetting about you, Spoolz. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. So let's jump into the rundown. I feel like we always have. We've had a lot of shows with tragedies. There have been various forms of it, from police brutality to, just killings and unarmed killings. And now, this one caught me off guard because I woke up to it. I hadn't realized that it happened in Las Vegas. There were 22,000 people at a country music concert in Las Vegas when the shooting started. Police said 59 people died and more than 500 were injured when a shooter rained gunfire down on them from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Casino Hotel. Now, the thing that's crazy about this is the videos for me, and I'm just speaking in my personal opinion, the videos for me actually drove home how scary this is, because you see the firsthand. You see it firsthand. The guys are recording, and you see everybody start to hit the ground. And as they're panning, you can see people that are motionless, that are around them, that have already been shot. And there's one guy that's running away, and he's like, man, this lady just got shot in her head. He's running, recording like this, like running away from the scene. And then there's
Was he really running and recording?
running and recording. He had the camera in his face, running away from it, saying this lady just got her head blown off or something. I'm paraphrasing. And then there were people that were in a helicopter ride that had an aerial view. and you can hear the gunshots in the recording from the helicopter when they were all the way up in the air. And you just see groups of people. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's the way to pour it, huh?
Yeah, if you ever want to pour a beer, just pour it loud as hell on a podcast. That's cool. He had it like this high too. Yeah, you would co-sign that.
It ain't nothing like Mike doing this.
Bradley.
That was actually being sarcastic.
Bradley would,
Mr. Cosign.
He's like, yeah, let me pour my beer here. Sorry about that.
And thirsty Bradley over here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So the aerial view was crazy because you could see from the helicopter, you could see the people that had already been shot just spread out. You just see people laying there from the air. So this is another first for me. I don't to the point now where it's just like dumb. I hate to say it, but it's just the world we live in. Diff, did you see anything other than just the reports, or were you able to see any of the videos or anything I described?
I did see some of the videos.
What's your
of
take?
People there. There was one guy that had his hands up. He wasn't going down on the ground. He was basically telling the dude to shoot him, calling him out. Like,
right.
It's crazy, man, that, and we've talked about this many a times over the past almost year. There's so many things that have happened in just this amount of time that we've been doing this show.
Yes.
And it's just weird to see how people react to this. I mean, that's a terrible tragedy. 59 people were killed. They're saying it's the worst tragedy in recent American history.
Yeah, especially with the open fire situation. And,
yeah. But what's crazy is a lot of people, just their reactions. So you have the reactions from people that are so worried about their gun rights being taken from them.
Right.
There was actually reactions from people who wanted to compare this to NFL players kneeling, saying that like the first responders were standing up, and I'm like, this is apples and oranges. Why do we have to?
It's a very big reach.
Yeah, that's really strange.
It's a very big reach.
And I don't know. It's the state of the United States. Is just who we are. It's like the mask is off.
Yeah.
Everybody should know by now.
Yeah.
Like everybody should be united and, kind of standing together when things like this happen, but it's still divisive regardless. So I don't know. That's my take on it.
Spoolz, jump in.
Mm-hmm. I agree with a lot of what Terry said too. But no, it's very sad, man. Like, very unfortunate. And our country does seem to have this happens way too often. Like, things like this too.
Too often for my taste.
And to Terry's point, there's a lot of things that are going to come out of this too. Like the gun debate will come up again. Like, especially I don't know how you guys feel, but like, we all saw videos of some sort, but that was like, those were automatic weapons. They sounded like them.
Yeah.
One of them was modded.
Yeah.
To where it was pretty much like a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Do people need those? Do people really need those?
No, we don't. And I think that's what's wrong with America, man. Like, I seen somebody post something that when that amendment was written, was when guns shot one bullet at a
muskets.
time.
Yep.
So you literally had to load that gun.
Yeah.
Put the gunpowder in there, stuff it, then fire.
This is seen from Glory when they first get their guns.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying them out and how long it takes to actually load a gun and shoot X amount of shots. Yeah.
So that applies to those times.
Mm-hmm.
And you have so many people that are so American that they're actually ignorant to the fact that changing a rule or a law is not going to hurt you. It's not like people are trying to take your freedoms away from you.
Right.
But if people aren't exercising those freedoms with common sense and also calling it what it is, I mean, it's funny how the headlines change based on who's done something.
Facts.
So it turned into mental illness, or he was a country fan.
Evidently
he wasn't, because he shot up a country concert, killed 59 people. I mean, he's an American terrorist.
I actually was waiting to see how soon they would interject the mental health.
Yeah.
Like I was literally waiting to see how long. Once I found out what happened, I'm like, all right, I'll give it an hour, maybe 2 hours before I find out that he had some type of mental disorder.
They were actually showing pictures of his
Nothing hasn't come out at all.
girlfriend or wife before they actually showed pictures of him.
And then there was one thing that came across one of the screens I was watching. I believe it was on CNN. Where they were talking about he was just a normal guy that liked country music, just a normal American. I'm like,
that was a newspaper headline.
Was it that what it was? Okay, so it's a newspaper headline. I'm like, so no, there's no digging on this young man about past experiences or past transgressions or history or records or files, or I don't see anything popping up that in the past tense that might incriminate him now. I don't see any of that. It's just like he was a nice guy that liked country music and had a girlfriend. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't strike me as that odd, to be honest with you, for some reason. Like,
America.
I think they oftentimes do dig. Like, I think they said the worst he's ever had was like some sort of traffic ticket. Like, he used to just gamble. That's all he would go do. There were some weird things that did come up, though. Like, he was playing on his, like, this companion gal's card the entire time that he was there, and she happened to be in the Philippines or whatever, so.
Credit card or something?
Now I thought she was there. I thought didn't she check in with him or something, or was she not there at all?
I don't think she was there at all. They located her in the Philippines.
Okay.
Like, just hanging out, on vacation, whatever.
They were showing her picture, like she was there.
Yeah. And then they interviewed his brother, and like a lot of his quote, they're surprised. He's like, he's not a part of any like religious fundamentalist, any sort of groups, anything like that, any political groups. He's not anything along those lines. He said, we're extremely shocked by all this. So who knows, man? I don't believe a lot of the stuff that comes out anyway, but
nor do I.
But at the same time, like, his portrayal, like, okay, so when I think back and just thinking about like Dylan Roof, like when that happened with Dylan Roof, his portrayal wasn't good. Because there wasn't good things to say, you know what I mean? As far as the things he had been into, like his mental health background, like all those different things. Like,
but they did pinpoint him as a mental health thing.
Yeah, they still put that on.
Oh
him.
yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
They absolutely did. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, they still put that on him.
Yeah,
which is consistent.
But they haven't with this guy, which is interesting. That's what I'm kind of saying.
Did they already say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen anything.
I saw that, like, when it first happened, they were saying,
oh, really?
Mental health stuff.
See, I'm like,
I mean, obviously, I would think
part.
one might have some mental health issues doing something like this, but I haven't read anything about that.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's just more so the double standard than anything.
I think that's what I'm going for. That's
know?
what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for.
Did you guys get just related to some music? Did you guys, by chance, get to check that video from Odyssey that came out today?
Yes.
I was tagged in it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was at work.
It's called "You Grew Up," which if you've heard Iceberg, you probably
Yeah,
heard.
I know the song. Yeah.
I know the record.
So the first record's about him growing up, and if you don't know, Odyssey is a Muslim American.
Yep.
From was it his father's from Sudan?
His father.
Mm-hmm. So the story is when he was growing up, his best friend was a white kid, but it follows as they got older, his dad got laid off, the white kid's dad got laid off. He blamed it on immigrants, which is his name. They fell apart. Eventually he became a police officer and ended up shooting a kid on the same block they used to play basketball on or something. The second story is about xenophobia, essentially, and how that will tire on somebody after a while, the hate after a period of time, and how it turned into being more fundamentalist. So it's just interesting that came out when it did.
Especially around I agree.
I forget where I was going with it, but it was relevant, and it's a good video. So
it's very dope.
In reference to race relations, maybe?
We were talking about how the perception of the...
Oh, yes. I was talking about it was the being a terrorist versus mental health.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So his second verse kind of painted the picture of the mental health of being a Muslim
Okay.
American and having that stigma over top of you the entire time, but still being labeled a terrorist. But this can still happen to a white
Yeah.
American, and he
Yeah.
can go and kill 59 people and injure 400 people, but he has mental health issues.
Right.
So it's just a double standard. I mean, it's all bad.
Yeah.
That's never the argument. It's just the double standard of how the media portrays. Oh, I just never thought that Bob would
Yeah.
do something like that, you know? And
So the actual definition of a terrorist
Yes.
is a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims.
So
So
There it is.
I'm curious to know. I mean, so that just to go to show that definition gets thrown around a lot, and
A
sometimes
lot.
gets used accurately, and other times gets used
I
inaccurately.
guess it depends on what you consider political
Yeah.
at that
And that-
point as well.
And that's
So-
a whole nother.
Like, is this guy a terrorist based on that definition? Nothing's pointed in that direction, actually.
Yeah.
But
at all.
what? Yeah.
But when you look up mental health,
But when people call gang members and people that and shit like that terrorists, that doesn't fit that definition either.
or if you're just simply Muslim and not Christian.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
make that make? Yeah.
a lot of these cats do manifestos and they do weird shit and like write a bunch of stuff down about why they feel the way they
That is
feel
true.
and do a lot of these things. And
That
like,
is true.
I'm just curious to see what they might find in the next couple weeks about this guy. Like, as they go through his whole online history, because you already know they can do all that shit. You know what I mean? And like,
Oh, they're gonna dig very deep.
so there's ISIS actually took
credit.
responsibility for this.
Yeah, they take credit for everything that happens
For
on
this
here.
one here?
Yep.
Yeah.
They said that he had converted some months ago or whatever, and this was his, I can't remember the term, but something he did or had to do.
Who knows? Really?
It's man, the bottom line is it's just the violence, man, in general. It's just we live in I was reading an article
That's very well said.
about it, and it's just the amount of violence and the amount of guns in this country. And I mean, that's a huge, general, broad, vague statement to make, but it's just, I mean, just really stop and think about it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, even here in Indiana, Indianapolis,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of crime in the past couple weeks. Like a lot.
having the right to do something doesn't always make it the right thing to do all the time. We all
Yeah.
have the right to have a bunch of guns if we want.
That's it
but
right
like,
there. That's
Is
it right
it
there.
is it like the right thing to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
Are assault rifles, back to kind of the original question I asked, I mean, do you guys feel like they should be actually banned or outlawed? Because
So-
I'm kind of like,
I'm kind of in between a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what I would
Really?
need an assault rifle for.
And that's what it comes down to. And I had this conversation with the metronome the other day. Like, it's one thing to have a pistol or something for protection. It's another thing to have an automatic weapon.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the practicality of that?
What circumstance?
Um,
What circumstance is going to make you think about or be glad that you have an assault rifle versus
outside of sport.
the only,
outside
the
of
only
sport?
reason,
Outside of sport.
the only reason
one
that would
should
make
have
me
an
want to have an
automatic
automatic weapon is based on the fact that other people have them too.
Yes.
All right, so we're getting
Okay.
closer
That's fair.
to what I think. I think that there's just always been a general distrust of
Government.
the government in this country, and anything they can have, civilians feel like they should be able to have too.
Right. And I
So if it's just the government that has all the automatic weapons, well, people aren't going to like that,
no.
and they feel like they should have access to them
And
too.
that's-
Because what if the government flips one day? What if a bunch of crazy stuff happens in the country,
Yep.
and people really have to like arm up and like band together or something like
And
that?
that's the one argument that I always that always kind of puts me on the line, to be honest, because otherwise I don't really trust the government like that. I
Yeah.
mean, look who's in there right now. He's throwing paper towels at people right now.
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
This reminds me. I saw a meme. No, it was an Onion article. Remind me, because Spoolz likes to share Onion articles.
I do.
And there was one
Funny.
today.
They're really funny, and sometimes
today-
they're needed.
And the
you know?
title today was, "Man, I don't know how to address this," says the only country where this happens.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yo. That's
I mean,
actually,
it's just the gun thing is going to come back up hard after this, obviously, and I know there was an assault rifle ban at some point, and there still are some, I don't know if bans, but it's like you can't have a fully automatic weapon in the state of
banned
Indiana.
some weapons.
I don't think
I think like you can't buy like a Uzi anymore or things like that. But
you might be able to get like a certain kind of license to be able to have one, but I don't think for the most, you can have rifles, but they have to be semi-automatic and like not fully. But
people know how to mod those though.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, true.
Just
and
like
that's
the guy
the scary
in Vegas,
part.
that's what he did. He modded that gun that he shot everybody with.
And that's the scary part.
People really, really love guns in this country, man.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
You know, there's guns in other countries, but not to the volume and amount of guns that we have here.
I saw
Everybody's so worried about them being
culture,
taken
man.
from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's embedded in its
Which
culture.
goes back to that distrust that's been here since we started as a country.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, the thing about it is, like we said about this situation, more stuff is going to reveal itself once they continue to do more digging. You know, they're going to dig. I'm just curious to see what comes up in terms of this gentleman's background. Because to Spool's point with the web history, with obviously home or whatever, like I'm just very, very curious to see, one, what comes up, and two, how it's portrayed through the media. So we'll have to keep our eye on it and kind of see what happens with that. Segue, really, we kind of talked about, he talked about throwing napkins. I think he said paper towels.
Paper towels and stuff. That's
Yeah.
I just saw a still of him like
He was shooting his shot
So
literally
Here's
into
a-
a crowd.
I'll just take the two quotes when it pertains to the millions of people that are, you know, going through a situation in Puerto Rico. He said, the most recent one, which I just saw when I was coming home, where he addresses, they brought everything over in terms of supplies, and he says, the first thing he says is, you guys have thrown our budget out of whack first. Almost on a sarcasm, like, you know, you guys have thrown our budget out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
And then the comment that preceded that was,
what a just real cool thing to say.
yeah, like that's the perfect thing to say in this situation when you get to Puerto Rico and you have supplies. But prior to that, he was sparring with
the mayor.
the mayor, yeah. And he said the Puerto Rican leaders want everything done for them. And I'm like, at this point, it's almost like I'm being trolled. It's like, I don't even know if this guy serious, or is he as unstable as I think he is? Because there's no way, as a competent politician, which he's not because he doesn't have any political background, you can have people around you that let you say this type of stuff. Like, are you that much off script and that much of an idiot where you think these lines will work?
Yeah, we've
Or is-
already discussed that. We
like,
know.
It's just crazy,
That's what
but it's
it
just
is.
crazy to me that we keep having this conversation. That's
Yeah.
my point.
It is.
Like, it's crazy that we're still having this
And
conversation.
we're gonna continue to have it. That guy's not gonna. She's not
Yeah,
gonna
like,
change, man.
Dude is like, you
70-some-odd-year-old.
you strike me as an imbecile, man.
And
Like,
tight
you
kinda
really
just-
are an idiot. Like, you're in over your head, you're incompetent, and you're
Yeah.
over your head in terms of the office of the president of the United States. Like, I feel like this, it's just harder than what you thought it was going to be, and you need to bow out. Like, that's where I'm at now. Fam, bow out or hopefully they get you pushed out in MPs, because you really are, at this point, it's
And then we got
incompetency.
Mike Pence. So there's that.
Man,
So
think about that.
Mike Pence. Yay.
Yeah.
At least like politically, he kind of knows what he's doing.
yeah,
Well, he is. At least he has
He's
a
an
background.
asshole. I mean,
we're
you know,
just
sorry,
we're
an
just
a-hole,
screwed
but, like,
for
yeah.
this whole term pretty much. So
It's a wrap. But the handling, in my opinion, the handling of Puerto Rico is atrocious, man. It's just bad. Like,
very.
Mike
just
Pence
bad.
is not nearly as offensive in any way as
That's pretty much what
Donald
it
Trump.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's a career politician, so he knows.
he knows how to hide that nonsense.
Yeah,
He can mask what he's trying
I mean,
to
he
do.
did it when he was here. Remember,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had where people can decide whether a person of whatever background can eat or
Right.
frequent their establishment.
Yep.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. I also remember when he tried to like close the public libraries.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the kids that want to do book reports.
Word.
Seriously.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Shout out to anybody that just wants to go
Perhaps read.
get a book and read.
In a quiet setting, Spool.
Do they even teach kids how to like use the Dewey Decimal System and stuff still?
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well, but I don't know for sure. I would just highly doubt it though.
Do they still have microfiche?
I haven't seen a
in the library.
bookmobile I haven't seen a bookmobile. I probably haven't seen a bookmobile since the 80s.
Yeah.
Or the Scholastic Book
90s.
Fair.
Maybe 90s, you say?
That's when I was in elementary school.
Weren't you in
Oh, that's
elementary
right.
school
I
in the
was,
90s?
I was, but I'm just trying to drive my point home, man. Where
What
the
was the thing?
bookmobile's at,
What was the
man.
thing he said the other day? No, I'm a lie.
I'm a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, yeah, I was ready. Yeah, I wasn't going on that. I got emotional. I'm sorry.
Scholastic
Gotcha.
Book Fair. We've talked about that. And Book It.
Book it.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get
Dare, all those
your,
programs.
gotta get your
man.
personal pan pizza. Man.
Johnny said books ain't cool no
Pizza
more.
Hut.
Everybody
Money
that
cool.
was in D.A.R.E became drug dealers.
Shouts to Kendrick.
I didn't. Terry mad because he didn't get the red shirt for the essay in there.
Mm.
What red shirt?
The winner of the essay contest.
The
At least
Book It
where
contest?
where we were. The
That was,
winner
some,
of the
that
essay.
was some Anderson stuff.
Yeah, the winner of the essay contest
You got a red
red
D.A.R.E.
D.A.R.E. shirt as opposed to the black one.
The
word?
D.A.R.E. shirt.
The D.A.R.E. shirt.
You might still have their D.A.R.E. shirt.
I probably don't.
If you have
I
your,
wasn't
if you
in
have your
D.A.R.E.
D.A.R.E. shirt out there, post it.
I bet Clarence does.
I wasn't
Clarence,
in D.A.R.E.
Post it with this video.
Grits, if you happy birthday, by the way, man. If
Yeah.
you have your D.A.R.E. shirt, please post that. If you
If
could,
I'm not
please.
mistaken, did I read they're no longer going to be an organization, or like they've cut funding or something like that?
Trump probably cut it for
Go-
worm digging or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
He had to cut it.
he probably was doing it to stock up on greens fees.
No, I was in the Just Say No club. I wasn't in D.A.R.E.
D.A.R.E. was colder than that.
I bet it was, but my township
I wasn't
had
a
Just
part
Say
of that, I
No,
don't
so
think.
that's what I was in.
You had a D.A.R.E. shirt though.
Nope.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
Yeah, he did. He had a D.A.R.E. shirt.
You know what, Mike?
You went to 25th Street.
21.
Apparently, I was in the 2% because
98% of these dudes is cowards.
Nice setup.
I
Oh
guess
no, there's a new D.A.R.E. program. Sorry, it was the opposite of what I thought.
that is true though. By the way, shout out to Pimp C.
The lion is a lion the mascot for D.A.R.E.
that was like a dog
Oh,
or something.
I
wasn't
thought it was
No.
a dog.
like a police dog or something.
A dog?
Yeah, it is
Police
it's a
dog.
That's
lion.
McGruff.
Wasn't it a police dog?
Man, I don't know. I
Y'all
wasn't
don't
in
even
there.
know.
I wasn't.
is a
You don't
lion.
even know what it is.
I had a shirt though.
You talking about McGruff? McGruff
No,
was
that's
the
different from
detective.
D.A.R.E.
Yeah,
though.
McGruff was the.
McGruff
It's
is different
very
from D.A.R.E.
different, but D.A.R.E. didn't have a dog.
So hold up. Why?
Why you hating on D.A.R.E. though?
I'm not hating on it. I'm just telling you that it didn't have a dog. And you as
saying it
as
with
a member of
but you
D.A.R.E.
emotional though. But you
I'm
real
not.
emotional
I'm
right
really
now.
not.
Why are you mad about D.A.R.E.?
Bruh,
I ain't mad. I had a D.A.R.E. shirt. What are you mad about,
I'm not mad at all. You're not
He's
qualified to have this conversation with me.
bruh?
I wasn't just say no club.
qualified.
Hey man, I
You
don't
was
know
in
what he's
D.A.R.E.
mad about a D.A.R.E.
You don't
shirt
even know
for.
who your mascot was.
I mean, we thought it was.
You know why I'm mad? Let me tell you why I'm mad.
Please tell me
I'ma
why
tell
you
you.
mad, man.
Because you don't know who your mascot is.
I had a shirt though.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
The shirt's colder than whoever the mascot was.
Is it? Where's your shirt?
It's at my mama's house, man.
Is it?
Probably.
So bring
Storage.
it next weekend for
No.
proof.
Nope.
Proof. We need proof.
Spoolz, I probably
So are you
didn't-
saying that you won the essay?
I didn't. I didn't get the red one. Shout
Oh.
out to my homie Rachel York. She won.
How does he remember?
He
that?
still remembers because he
Yeah.
was butthurt about it.
I wasn't
Yeah.
mad.
He's upset.
He's
still.
got a list at the crib.
Rachel was the homie, so
Yeah, she had a jumper too. Shout out
Yeah.
to Rachel.
Yeah.
She had a jumper.
He got a list at the crib
Go do
of
that.
people that beat him,
Yeah.
and
He's still mad about
memorizes
that.
all
Rachel
that
had
to
Rachel,
his
Rachel,
Rolodex.
Rachel
a
had the
clip.
jumper, kind of like Trump did with the paper towel rules.
I don't know. Hers
Man.
better than
What a
his.
dummy.
So why would you do that though? I mean, like,
He's just an
is it-
insensitive prick, man.
is he
He,
just
it's
thinking
just
it's
natural
funny?
to him. It
No,
comes
he's just-
natural.
No,
Is
he's
it-
just an idiot.
is it just funny?
It's just-
You
No,
know,
he's
like-
just an
It's
idiot.
just general, and like just weird entitlement.
He's
man.
a chotch.
Like, he just doesn't. He is a chotch.
Yeah, he's
yes,
a chotch.
Shout out to
He
Spoolz.
qualifies for that.
Indeed, big time. He's a big time
I think
chotch.
I think it's a lack. I think there's just a lack. He does not understand the accountability that comes with the position that he has. He's running.
shouldn't
He's
care,
he's
man.
trying to run the White House like it's a property. Like I'm just gonna walk around saying what I want to say. I got assistants. They'll try
Just
to help me
firing
out.
boys left and
Yeah,
right.
we just
too.
fire. We firing the maintenance man in the property. We
But they
firing-
love it though. They love
They
it.
love it though.
They love it.
It's like a show. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about
Yes.
that a bajillion times. you
Yep.
know?
I mean, he's a reality TV dude and a real estate guy running the free
It's a
world.
sensationalized. You know, get off Twitter, man. Like word. Like
It
all-
just
all the
reminded me
time.
of. You ever seen that movie? It's a movie. Robin Williams was in it. It was like based in Russia, and he was standing in line for toilet paper.
Nah,
And just I don't know, for some reason, him holding paper towels and throwing them to different people just reminded me of that.
did he have a D.A.R.E.
It's the
shirt
Hunger
on?
Games.
Communism. Goop.
It's
It's
the
not.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have a D.A.R.E. shirt on?
He didn't. So
Terry mad about D.A.R.E.
I'm not.
All right, man.
what
so
else we got?
I'm gonna go NCAA this time because
Nisaka.
Diff brought that up, and I think this is about a week ago. But I fooled with Rick
I didn't
Pitino.
bring it up though.
Yes, you did.
Spoolz did.
Both of y'all, because you chimed in. Yes, this is
Not
a
really.
joint one. Nope, this is a joint one.
All
Okay.
3 of y'all.
Yeah, all 3 of y'all.
It's actually
No, Spoolz.
No.
No, don't do
I've
that.
You're
spoken
wrong.
on the NBA thing.
No,
Yeah, you're wrong, Mike. That's cool.
I'm not.
Let's move it on along.
Yeah.
Let's
Bunch
get it
of
going.
cowards, man.
Yeah?
Don't do it. Don't, because we're
Yeah,
not.
he doesn't get that. He's not
No. He
qualified.
He got his hand on
You're
the
not
trigger. I don't know
qualified.
where he's going.
He's not qualified.
because we're not part of that 98%.
Uh-uh.
Shout out to Pimp C, man. We gonna incorporate you,
Rest
big
in
homie.
peace.
Yes, sir. So
Brother.
the NCAA. Now Pitino is, to me, he's one of the greatest coaches in college basketball outside of the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? He has a
Outside of the
nice,
foolishness.
he had a nice career. You know what I'm saying?
Sure is a lot of foolishness.
A lot of foolishness going on. Great record though as a coach. He always rocked that white suit.
He had a terrible record with the Boston Celtics.
On
He did.
on the league, it was whack. He was whack
Yeah.
in the league. But he used to always rock that.
Looks like
that
a
Coke
vampire.
suit. What?
It just
He
looks like a
vampire.
Looks like a vampire.
Have you ever seen Vampire in Brooklyn?
Of course.
Probably. I
Kidding
don't
me?
remember the specifics.
I
With
know
Eddie
you are.
Murphy? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Subpar.
The movie's
movie.
awesome. No, I love that. I think Vampire in Brooklyn's funny.
Charlie
Hardison's
Charlie
face
Murphy
was
wrote-
falling off.
Charlie
Yeah.
Murphy. Charlie Murphy actually wrote that.
You meshed my eyeball up. Like, he just,
Hey, I think Ǩēdim was Ǩēdim in that.
yeah, Kadeem
Yeah.
Hardison's in it.
He was his right hand
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
that's
he was
right.
like his ghoul.
I think Charlie Murphy actually wrote that screenplay, man. You have to
Oh,
look that
yeah?
up. Yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. But the NCAA, they said the case went.
Evil is necessary.
Habitual line stepper.
Bruh,
Michael Curtis.
what with the Vampire in Brooklyn?
Nothing. Oh man. He was just a Charlie Murphy reference.
Don't do that, man. Rest in peace of Charlie Murphy,
Rest in
man.
peace, Charlie Murphy.
Dude was funny. The case went public last Tuesday with federal prosecutors announcing that 10 men, including a top Adidas executive and 4 assistant coaches at a power conference programs, were charged with using hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes to influence star athletes' choices to schools, shoe sponsors, and agents. Prosecutors also said at least 3 top school recruits were promised payments of or as much as $150,000 using money from Adidas to attend 2 universities sponsored by the company.
Mm-hmm.
Court papers didn't name those schools, but contained enough details to identify them as Louisville and the University of Miami, Florida.
Oh, big
Florida.
shock. Miami, Florida. In trouble again, huh? That
Yeah.
never happens.
Never happens. So,
Sorry, that's my personal shot. I don't like Miami.
that's fine. Supposed
I'm
to
a
get it
Notre
off your
Dame
chest.
fan.
I
Well,
talk this to me. This is
Not to
crazy.
act like they're like the cleanest in the world, but they're not Miami.
I'm not shocked, man. Like I think college sports has been moving paper for years
Been moving.
for
paper.
these athletes. I'm not shocked. I feel like they should get paid. Period. Like I feel like they should get paid for, especially the football programs, as much bread as they
Yeah,
make.
we talked about them like
We talked about that.
episode 20 somewhere. Yeah.
But I'm not shocked by this that they are funneling that bread to the recruits, man. Especially with
To
Adidas.
see the shoe companies involved is interesting.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sponsorship is so big. Now look at the NBA jerseys. Now they got sponsorship on the jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, it's
You know
really
what I'm
interesting is that
Fitbit.
the Sonny Vaccaro,
Good
real
year.
quick. There's a 30 for 30, ESPN 30 for 30 about Sonny Vaccaro. It's very interesting. He worked for Nike and worked for Adidas
Yep.
for a long time, and like kind of helped usher in the change and some of the subsequent changes of how players were recruited,
Yep.
the business of basketball behind the scenes and all that stuff. And his interviews about this is really interesting, man. But yeah, dude, it's like Louisville, Miami, Oklahoma State, Arizona. Chuck Person got caught up in all this, the rifleman.
Not the rifleman.
The rifleman, man, they got him.
Not number 45.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh man.
Couple other schools. But yeah, it's ugly, man. Some of this stuff isn't just like your school's gonna, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna damage the programs, like
Oh,
of
no
a lot of
question.
these schools.
No question. No question.
That Romeo, I can't remember his last name, kid from like I think New Albany. He's like a 5-star recruit who was gonna go to Louisville. He decommitted, so IU might get him. So IU fans are hoping, but no, this could not only do that, but also bring like criminal charges. This is like money for like mail fraud and wire fraud and conspiracy and all this
Yep.
other stuff, man. So it's ugly, dude.
Laundering.
You think about it, man.
It's ugly.
That's a lot of money just to put
Hell
in.
yeah,
To
there's
put
a-
in some
there's
kids'
so much
pockets
money.
for some kids that come hoop. If you think about it.
Jabal said that they've been trying to give him money for years for his boys.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there was like an article that I read about that.
He's smart by not taking it.
He definitely is.
Straight
Speaking
up.
of that, did you hear that he's going to homeschool LaMelo? That's what I heard.
Why would he do that?
I don't know.
He literally said, no, I know the reasoning behind it. He said that the new coach for Chino Hills told LaMelo that, I believe LaMelo's the youngest, told him that all that 50 shots a game and all that will be gone. We're gonna
That
try
makes sense, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's stupid because he cherry picks to shoot 50 shots a game. But it's possible.
Ain't it?
Oh, was that you?
I don't know,
Cool,
Mike.
man.
Oh, I thought that's Brad.
That's
Sorry.
a check. I haven't done
Public
that.
service
I haven't done that in
announcement.
a while.
Thank you. But he said he taking him to homeschool because the coach said, no more 50 shots a game, no more cherry picking. We're going to put an actual system in there. I played in the league. And LeVar Ball was like, nah, I'm a homeschool him. You ain't going to tell me. I made the program for Chino Hills. Nobody would be talking about Chino Hills if my boys didn't play in the system. And you're going to always hear from me because we run the school. So I'm leaving.
Wow,
Like,
what
we
is-
just going to homeschool him. He literally said these things in an interview. Like,
Why wouldn't he just put him in a different school?
he said he didn't want to do that because they built a program at Chino Hills,
Well,
quote unquote.
Interesting.
So he's going to
so he's
homeschool
just going to bow out to last year?
2 years. He's a sophomore.
That's crazy.
He's about to homeschooling for 2 years and work on his game, and then he'll be eligible, I believe, if he doesn't do the shoe joint with the shoe that he has, he'll be eligible to play for the league. The shoe like $5.
$500 synthetic materials.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, but back to the NCAA thing. It's serious, dude. It's going to mess up some programs.
It's very
for
serious.
the next, like, look how long it took IU to bounce back from all that stuff. You know,
Right.
the Calvin Sampson.
Y'all remember Jason Williams? Used to play for the Bulls and Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came out and was like, yeah, we were getting bread. They were giving us bread for XYZ back in AAU and all that. Like,
Yeah.
he started coming out, and I'm like, damn. Like, everybody going to start coming out the woodworks
Duke was
now?
a prestigious school, too.
Man, that you can't tell me.
So
That was
that's-
over a decade ago, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago.
I
He
mean,
had the motorcycle accident in Chicago.
yeah.
It was like
I
early
mean,
2000s.
That's like those prestigious schools, they've been getting bread. I mean, certain players get money, too.
we all
I mean,
saw
that
blue
was-
chips.
Yeah, I mean, it was on
I went to those games.
well, what's the name?
Sure you
The
did.
Fab
I
Five.
I
They
know
were
those guys.
talking about it, like their jerseys and
Yeah.
stuff being sold.
Yeah.
And they're not getting paid for it. They felt a certain way about that, as you should.
Yeah, at O'Bannon. They sued. They sued.
Yeah.
They sued the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Or they
Yeah.
sued the NCAA rather.
But it was
Yeah.
video games, man. O'Bannon was going hard for the video games.
That's why they don't have the NCAA football game anymore, too.
They
Yep.
took the likeness of those
Yeah. It
It
kids.
sucks,
yeah.
dude. I really liked that game because then you
Mhm.
could play a season with that, and then when Madden came out, you could
those
import all
rosters.
those
Yeah.
players in and draft
Hold
them.
up, man. Time out. Let's go back to Blue Chips.
Yes.
So you were there while they were taping that?
Yeah,
you were in the crowd?
they played those games at the Frankfurt
Yeah.
gym,
Yeah.
and I was there. Yeah,
Where
for,
were you
for a
sitting?
couple of them.
Where were you
I was
sitting,
I was
bro?
up high. I was with my dad, my uncle, and
So you were there when they were taping
Somebody
with Shaq and Penny and all those guys?
oh yeah,
That's
He
dope.
synced it.
I wasn't like super close by any means, but like I saw Penny, Shaq, Calbert Cheney, Bob Knight, Dick Vitale,
Damon
Nick
Bailey.
Nolte, Damon Bailey, Matt Nover.
Yeah. That was
And I
a
haven't
dope movie.
seen Blue Chips in so long.
That's a dope movie,
Yeah.
man.
What's the best basketball movie?
Man, it's got to be Space Jam.
I hate him.
It's gotta be.
There's a couple.
What about? Have you
I'm
ever
glad
heard
you said that.
Heaven is a Playground? You ever heard that movie?
Nope.
It's pretty good.
All right, man. So you got Hoosiers
Is that
off.
the Manigoat one?
No,
No, you're not talking about the GOAT.
Hoosiers is good.
Hoosiers has to be up there just off.
Yeah.
I'm
What
biased.
if I said that I've never seen Hoosiers?
I would say I would be disappointed, but I would try to educate you.
Yeah.
There's
You
no-
should see it.
You have to see
You
Hoosiers.
should
Never
see it.
seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Wow, you should see it too. Two
Yeah.
people
What
in the
you
same
think?
room.
Like, I'm dead serious. I
I
have
wouldn't
not
have thought
seen
two
it.
people who pretty much
Hoosiers
grew
is
up in
classic,
Indiana their
bro.
whole lives hadn't seen. Yeah.
I'm a huge Indiana basketball fan.
I'm
so
not. I
Hoosiers-
haven't seen
Hoosiers
it.
is dope.
I've even been to the Indiana High School Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Newcastle, right? Is that
Still-
where that's at?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or is
It
it
is in-
Milan?
It is in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Is it? Have you been there?
Hoosiers, I would
I
say.
should
I would say Hoop Dreams is really good. It's a documentary, but it's
Shout out
really
to William
good.
Gates, Arthur A.G.
Yeah.
I would say Hoosiers.
Above the Rim.
Get your boy, man.
Hey, I like Above
It's
the
kind of
Rim.
about basketball.
Loving basketball.
Hey, so now Lathan cold.
Hey, you see she cut all her hair off.
I don't care.
Space Jam.
Still going.
I'm going.
I ain't mad.
Space Jam 2?
No, man.
They made a movie about
unless it's Star LeBron.
about Crispus Attucks. Well, Big
Did
O.
they?
Did they?
Oscar Robertson in it. And that was a good movie.
He got game. Ray Allen's
That was a good
acting
movie.
on
Yeah, he got game.
Ray
It was
Allen's
good.
acting on He Got Game was very, very uncomfortable. But that movie was pretty good though.
Jesus.
But when
Jesus Shuttlesworth. I
when,
like that one.
when what's his name? Denzel grabbed dude by the throat though.
Oh yeah, he
Yoked
said,
him up.
he said, "What you got there? Range Rover?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
What you got there? Range Rover?
That was good. Hell, that LeBron movie was good.
Yeah, that was dope too. I think Above the Rim is like a cult classic. That's like, you know what I'm saying, the
I like
hip hop
Above the
movie.
Rim.
Yeah, that's a good movie. But I'm thinking like traditional basketball movies. You got Hoosiers. I guess He Got Game. You got
What was
I
the one
think
about
Blue
the
Chips is
Texas
up there.
players that came out like maybe
Oh,
maybe 10
about
years ago?
the black team, the all black team in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah. That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was dope too. I like
I
that.
keep
one.
wanting to call it Remember the Titans, but that was a football movie.
That's football, Terrence.
Yeah, I know. Didn't I clarify that?
No,
I mean, Blue Chips
thought
is
I
pretty
did.
good.
Blue Chips is very good.
Yeah.
They got star power too with Penny and Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq.
So did
Above the Rim.
yeah, not Above the Rim, but the other one, Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, they
He
had
got
some.
game.
He got game. Good.
Yeah, they had the star power. Star power.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm about to ask. I had to ask around to see what's the best Who movie, because I think although Hoosiers is just that's like
Just ask y'all.
I'm not gonna answer because I haven't seen Hoosiers. So
I haven't
terrible.
either.
You guys want to get into this mass appeal list at all?
Sure.
I didn't see all of it, but
All
I
right,
saw.
we were just gonna call it the list.
Yeah,
All right, I've got it pulled up.
yeah.
It's too late
Yeah,
now.
they paying the
Well, you
bills.
can beep it.
Spool's paying the bills
So
for
this
him.
list,
It's cool.
this list of 25 best rappers / producers.
Yeah.
Right. So just gonna go through it. This is in order, right? So number 25 is Dr. Dre.
Thank you, sir.
And I think it's all right. So my only comment there is because of the rhyming and the fact that he didn't write anything.
He has two
any of his
classic
lyrics.
albums.
Matter.
Yeah,
He has two classic albums.
that's.
I don't know who wrote
I'm
them.
not justifying 25, but
I don't
I
know
wouldn't
who-
put him in the top.
Out of a list of 25, and you have Dr. Dre
yeah,
at
that's
20.
I agree. It's blasphemous.
I don't agree with that.
24 is Mac Miller.
He's not.
Hold on, while we still on hold on. We can't move from Dr. Dre yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Dr. Dre is responsible for a whole music
understand.
genre.
What is he responsible for?
Gangster rap?
Nah,
Talk that talk.
He is.
No, he is.
Why ain't he?
he's not responsible. He didn't create gangster rap.
Without his production, there ain't nothing.
Really?
Facts.
Who did? Ice-T?
Who was the first gang? Schoolie D.
We're
We
talking
talk-
about no.
like,
we're talking
on
about
a broad appeal.
you know,
like,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
I feel
right,
you,
But
Squeezy.
Ice Cube wrote those lyrics.
He
though.
did.
He did,
but
he
Drake
had the beats
produced those
behind it.
records.
Sure, I agree.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think he should be 25 on a list of 25.
You can't be with two classic albums.
You can't
There's
have
no
Mac
way.
Miller better than Dr.
I
Dre.
completely,
nothing,
I
no.
completely agree.
I
You
agree
can't
with
have Mac Miller on the project and not on this list and not have Odyssey.
Not have Odyssey.
Yeah, I agree.
on.
I agree.
that.
Odyssey.
Granted, Mac Miller has some good material, but it's
He
not to
does.
the level of Odyssey.
Odyssey's easy top 10. Easy.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So 24 was Mac Miller. 23 is Madlib, which I would disagree with that. I think he needs to be. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Quasimodo.
But if you throw in the Quasimodo stuff and how cult classic-y it is,
Yeah.
it's hard to have it any lower than that. Like, it probably should be higher.
Yeah.
Really.
Mad lived on the bars.
It's not that they don't have bars, it's that his delivery is weird.
Yeah, it is
Exactly.
weird.
That takes away from it for me as well.
That's why he does the Quasimodo thing,
You know what?
because he can be weird with it.
That takes away from it for me.
I don't think MF Doom's on this list either.
he is.
He's
Oh, he
he's
is?
on
Yeah,
there.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's on
22,
Terrence agrees with me
22
on
is
Doom.
David Banner.
David Banner is dope.
there. He nice.
David
Yes.
Banner is dope.
Does his production measure up to his bars, though? I
Uh,
didn't even know he produced until this list.
he's a pretty good producer, man. Now
Yeah,
he's not.
nice.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
take your word for it.
Yeah,
then.
he got some heat though.
He's not Dre.
No, he's not
No.
Dre, but he got some heat. He should be below Dre
Yes.
as well.
21 is Large Professor.
21.
That could be higher, probably, too. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But
I mean, main source though.
he belongs on the list. Let's just
But what's
keep
funny
it
is
at that.
20 is Juicy J.
Oh, see, this is where the list started losing me because I wasn't that big on.
Well, see, the
Triple Six.
thing about it is Juicy J and as a Pike graduate, you can attest to this. Y'all was heavy on
36
Juicy
Mafia.
J.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, the beats was cold though.
I
Now
think
that beats were cold.
He absolutely belongs on there, though.
He belongs on there because I mean his style of beat and
No, his beat-
everything. Like man,
If you think about
He's
it,
nice.
DJ,
I
like
agree.
he flipped.
rap wise though, he's
They lose me on.
basic.
They lose me on the rap, but he flipped Willie Hutch better than probably anybody I ever heard. Like he had a lot of dope. They sampled
Willie
a lot
Hutch
of
don't
that.
get his dues.
At all.
Yep. 19 is Diamond D.
Yeah,
that
you
might
just
be
talked about him last week.
That might be a little low.
He could be higher.
18 is Big Crit. It was awesome to see him on this list.
He should be on the list. I don't know how high.
I would probably rank Crit and Odyssey very similar, and like the modern day. Real quick, the modern day producer rapper is different from the old school producer rapper.
Facts.
When you talk about Crit and Odyssey, Crit is a dope MC
On
and
top of making
and a dope
beats.
producer.
Yep.
Right.
Odyssey is a dope MC and a dope producer. There's like no fall off there.
Facts.
That's what a lot of like.
I agree.
That's why I would rank those two guys a lot higher than I don't know, David Banner.
I gotta hear the
Or,
rest. I would put them higher than Banner for the bars.
or even a Madlib.
Side note,
for that, you know.
Big Crit's got a new joint out right now.
Confetti.
Which is really dope.
Confetti
Definitely
ain't
check that
heavy.
out.
Mike?
17 is Pharrell.
He could be high. Well,
He
I don't
definitely
know.
is supposed to be higher. on
Pharrell
that
got to
list.
be higher, dog. Off
Especially-
hits alone, he got to be higher.
And his solo project was dope.
Yeah, man.
Oh, his In My Mind was cold.
Very.
So, I played-
Matter of fact, his first two, that last album was straight.
The NERD,
Yeah.
not NER, even the Star Trek joint with him and Hugo.
Yeah.
he's probably top 5.
Pharrell
Yeah.
got to be way
Easy
higher.
top
He got to
five.
be way higher.
16 is Lord Finesse.
Yeah.
He
That's
should
fair.
be on the list, definitely.
Yeah.
He should be on
15 is J. Cole.
He should be on there somewhere. I don't know if I would put him as high as Odyssey or a Big Crit, but I think he's up there.
Cole is not at both. I don't think Cole's at the level of those two.
Not-
in my
He's got
opinion.
one of Kendrick's best beats, though.
Yeah, but beat wise, even still, that's not a crazy beat.
When I
Yeah, it's
compare,
not crazy.
When I compare
know.
his beats to Crit's beats, nah.
Now, like High Power is dope, but
Mhm.
it's a drum break and like a sample loop. You know, like it's not
Yeah.
evolved like that. So,
Yeah.
but
14 is Scarface. Very happy to see him on this list.
you know, I didn't know he produced either.
Oh, he produced a lot of that earlier stuff.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, Scarface is dope. OG.
13, I didn't know this guy produced Tyler, the Creator.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Very, very, very,
I
very
wouldn't have him
Right,
that
but
high,
That's
though.
what I was going with Terry. He belongs. He's probably needs to be lower though.
Yeah, because Haji is responsible for a lot of that
A
stuff.
lot
Yeah.
of his stuff.
He's talented, man, but I would put him lower, a lot lower.
But he did make his first hit that came out. The one where he's sitting in the
Yonkers?
chair. He made
Yeah.
Yonkers.
That's
but
dope.
but it was like a Reason stocks sound.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
so.
He was actually surprised at that win as far
Yeah,
as
I don't
it
think
did.
he should be that high either.
I don't think he's. Yeah, I'm with you.
I
On
think
that. He
Scarface.
might be a
Should,
little
I think
too high.
Scarface should be higher than
Yeah, he might be a little too high.
Tyler, the Creator. 12 is LP.
Mm.
LP's been producing and rapping for a long time.
12's a pretty good spot for him, but I could see him go higher as well, especially because they Run the Jewels and
I'm sleep.
Killer Mike stuff.
I gotta do more. I know of him.
Man, when you think about all Definitive Jux,
Yeah.
like he produced
yeah.
like an entire label,
Like Company Flow.
Company Flow. Yeah,
I gotta step my game. I gotta step my game up on him because I've done a little research, but y'all are credible enough for me to not be mad at that.
I could stick him a little higher, but 12 ain't
He's
bad
not
for
my
him.
favorite as far as rappers to listen to.
Yeah,
No,
But
No,
he's
I-
good. He's good at it, and like
I'll
he's
be
a
hon-
really
I'll-
dope producer.
he's got his own lane for both things that he does.
I'll be honest. I go to Run the Jewels for Killer Mike.
Yep.
Like that's what I go to them for.
and the beats, 'cause
And the
then that's
beats.
what he does. He does all those.
Fair
beats.
enough.
Mike don't really like the beats though.
Yeah.
They straight. I don't like they cool. They cool.
11 is Erick Sermon, which I definitely
Wow,
agree
he's
should
gotta
be on
go
that
higher.
list. I agree.
Erick Sermon's got to go higher.
I think that's.
When you talk about
Well, Erick
both,
Sermon had the
I think that's-
thing
I
I'll
think
say
it's
about
about cool for
a few of these people in here, they haven't done anything in a long time.
hey man, but when you think about Erick Sermon from the Def Squad to all the stuff he did
Oh
with
yeah,
EP,
Eric
I think
Onassis.
man,
10
he got some. As a producer, he's cold.
I think 10's probably appropriate.
I gotta hear who's above him then because Eric. I think he can go higher unless I hear. I gotta hear
Number
who's
10
above.
is Eminem.
That he shouldn't even be on the list.
Eric Onassis.
He hasn't produced.
Erick
a
Sermon's
ton of
higher
stuff,
than
I don't
Eminem.
think. Let's
He-
see what it
he
says
sh-
he's produced.
He shouldn't be on the list.
It's stuff for D12 and G Unit.
Yep.
I don't think I'm gonna put.
You
M
can
on there as a
tell
producer.
M's.
It's
Says
mad
Big
dark.
Z's
He
lack
made.
diversity,
You can't
but
put
MS
Eminem
struck to
above
one
Dr.
side.
Dre. You can't.
No,
you can't.
How? That's like hit the blasphemous.
He did
button,
Jay Z's.
bruh.
That is blasphemous.
How?
Yeah.
He did Jay Z's "Moment of Clarity." He did that beat.
Who
He
did?
bodied him on that too.
Eminem.
Did he?
I'm
No,
sorry.
not on moment of clarity.
Oh, he bodied Jay on
He
Moment
rapped
of Clarity.
on Renegade.
He wasn't on
I
moment
mean,
of clarity.
Renegade. I mean, Renegade. That's what I mean. Renegade.
Said that he produced
bodied him on
Moment of
Renegade.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Really? Did he?
That's what it says.
He did produce Moment of Clarity. You can hear
It
it.
sounds like an
Think,
Eminem
think
beat.
about it when you go back and listen to
I'll
it.
have to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he produced that, but he
That-
bodied him on
that's
Renegade.
off the album where I heard the remixes so much I don't even know if I
Yeah,
remember
I
what
agree.
the
This
original.
is too high for Eminem.
Got him on Renegade, bro.
Number
Score is too
number
high.
9 is Jay Dilla. Number 9.
Oh man, I told Terry. Before,
I love Dilla, man. I think it's a little too high, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rap wise is
Dilla's to the point where it's just everything is gold.
Yeah,
I'm not
is,
knocking
but-
him, but it's just everything is gold.
if we
All
gonna
right.
keep it 100,
He might be too
I'm
high.
gonna try to get through these a little bit more quickly. We got a couple minutes.
Oh, we good.
we good. We
Number
do what
8.
we want out here.
Number 8 is Doom, which I'm a fan of. I think that's
think
a pretty
that's-
decent
I
spot
I think that's
for him.
accurate.
You know where
I
we
do too.
stand. You know where
Yeah.
me and Terrence stand.
I think
you
it's
guys
accurate.
yeah,
I don't buy
it's
it. I don't
highly
buy it.
accurate.
Mm.
I don't buy it.
Number 7 is DJ Quick. Real quick, hold on.
Low.
Before we get into Quick,
No,
what,
I
what
would
don't
say
you buy
DJ
about
Quick is
It's low.
that's damn near accurate.
No,
For
it's low.
Quick,
I
you
gotta-
got Quick at 7. You got Dre at 25. Bro.
Dre has to be moved up.
So you think Doom's too high?
I think
No.
Quick should be way above Doom.
I
Way
don't.
above Doom.
I don't.
I don't think so.
Way above Doom. Quick is amazing. Way
So
above
is
Doom.
Doom.
As a
man.
rapper too?
Yeah.
Yeah, crit. I mean, I said crit.
Quick got some
Quick.
heat.
Does
yeah.
he?
I feel like you're trolling me
whatever.
right now.
7's DJ Quick. 6 is Havoc.
Wow.
Yeah. This is why I've
I'm
seen the
fine
list.
with-
I've
I'm
seen the
fine
list. That's
with
why
that.
I say a lot of times a lot of these numbers are kind of accurate. I think
I'm
that's
fine with
okay.
Havoc. I'm fine with Havoc.
5 is Pimp C. He
Mm.
produced. That's the thing, Sean. He produced pretty much all of that early UGK
Did he?
stuff. Yeah,
Country
I'm
rap.
I'm
tunes.
taking DJ Quick over Pimp C.
I am not.
I'm not. I don't
I'm
think.
taking Quick over
I
Pimp
don't
C.
know, man. I would have them probably around the same place.
I
Yeah.
gotta take. That's just personal preference. I
They'd
gotta
be
take
early
Quick over
teens
Pimp
for
C.
me.
I gotta take Pimp over. Quick over Pimp C.
Number 4 is RZA.
Wow.
I think that's high for RZA though.
You
I
gotta
don't.
think though.
I don't think that's high.
I don't think that's high for RZA. When you talking old, I ain't talking about the new stuff.
I'm talking about everything.
We talking
I'm
about back
everything.
catalog.
If we talk about the amount of years that RZA has been in the rap game, he's got more years where he's whacked than he's not.
But when he,
Then
Facts.
but when he was cold though, he
Those
had some
are
of the
facts.
best records. He
Y'all
had some of
can't
the
even
best
front.
records ever.
RZA's
Though.
been my favorite producer for the longest time. Like
He has, but when he was on it though,
when he was on it,
he has stuff that's better than some of these people that are on
What
this
did he
list.
do after the W?
he created the
Don't do
grind.
that.
Like he created
Straight
that-
up.
He
What
created
did he
that
do
genre.
after the W?
He scored movies. He scored Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He
He
did.
scored,
Ghost Dog?
Yeah.
But then every time he put a project out, it was
trash.
It was trash. And RZA was my favorite producer for over a decade, and then he just kept putting out bad stuff.
I need
But I
need that crispy. There you go.
There, yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
So number 3, and I was kind of surprised by this because I didn't know, was Missy Elliott.
Yeah, she did.
I didn't know
stuff.
she produced a
Missy
lot.
is-
I always think
Missy
about
is
her with
mad
Timberland.
talented.
I think
Missy
that's
was
high
in her
though.
bag though.
I think
That's-
that's high though.
That's
I
high,
do
but
too.
she was mad talented.
Yeah.
I don't think she
Mad
should be
talented.
above RZA. I don't think she should be above Doom.
She's not above Quick either,
I don't think
I don't think she should be above Dilla.
I don't think she. Yeah, I agree.
or Pimp C.
Number 2 is Kanye,
That's probably
Pre-Yeezus.
and number 1, drum roll, please. Who do you guys think it is?
Q-Tip.
It's
I already
Q-Tip.
know.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good, solid number 1 to have, personally.
Maybe I think
All
Drake.
around.
I think Drake could almost be one up there. Well, man,
Definitely.
Just like not
he
with.
could
not-
he has to be in the top 10.
I think Dre being in the top 10 is not crazy. I don't think he should be number 1.
And
I
then
think
you didn't-
Q-Tip deserves to be number 1.
You didn't include Not Corrupt, but Daz.
Daz, yeah.
Mm.
Daz should
Daz
be on
is
this
easily
list.
one of the top 25.
I agree.
as a rapper too, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
Go
Daz
listen
should
to
be in the
Dog
top
Food,
If we
25.
gonna
sir.
talk about early stuff,
Yeah. Go listen to Dog Food.
Daz was killing shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know he was production wise. I just didn't. I
Go-
wasn't big on a lot of the West Coast stuff back then.
Go listen
so.
to Dog Food, sir.
Real quick as well, I just want to bring up starting, I guess here
That's
in a
pretty-
couple
that's
weeks,
pretty
October
interesting.
7th through January 28th. Step onto the streets of New York City and experience one of the greatest collections of early graffiti art in city and canvas, New York City graffiti from the 70s and 80s. That's at
Nice.
the IMA.
Yep.
And I
Nice.
think the event's coming up before that.
Yeah. So the Dougie Fresh thing is Thursday.
Yep.
At the
Thing,
IMA.
is that a concert or is he
I'm
speaking?
not sure exactly. I think it's some sort of performance. His tickets are like $30.
Okay. He's an OG.
Yeah. So he's there at Thursday, and then 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐻 will be DJing from 7 to 9 on Friday, and from 11 to 3 on Saturday. I am a instructor for the music production course there, and I also work there. So I can plug that. Mike over here look at Mike.
He couldn't wait to smell.
I kept going just because of Mike's face.
Yeah.
But
Plug it in, plug it in. He's the plug.
so that's going on. Also this weekend, or is it this weekend? Yeah, Fountain Square Music Fest is going on.
Okay.
Don't you have a beat set coming up?
First Friday is this weekend.
First
too,
Friday, Back
at
to the
Hi-Fi.
Back to the Future.
What's the theme? Don't they have
what?
themes for those joints?
No,
Music.
it's just
Nah, it's
music.
just
Yeah,
music.
I hate them. I hate them.
it's all format music party,
Okay.
but it's part of the Fountain Square
DJing.
Music Fest,
They
which
usually
is
do the theme joints. That's why I
2
said
days.
that.
It's 2 DJs and they play off of each other. Is kind of
It's
what
like
it is.
4, but 2 at the same time.
Right, 2 at the same time. But so
Actually,
but,
starting the Throwback Thursday joint at
where
what
is
is the
that?
name of that place? Bartini's.
Martini, yeah, downtown.
That starts this Thursday.
It's
Nice.
down, yeah.
You on
And
that?
What's the theme?
Yeah.
You on that?
What's the thing?
What's the theme?
exactly the
Uh,
same as Back to the Future.
music?
Okay, cool.
Music. I'm on the
Um,
third.
Everybody laugh
Thursday
at
of every month.
Bradley.
You don't
But
have to laugh.
but the Fountain Square Music Fest also is
Sure.
Fantagram's going to be here, as well as the Cool Kids and a bunch
Fantagram
of other
worked
people.
with Big
Cool.
Boy, correct?
Yeah, they did.
All right.
I forget
The
project.
setup for that looks crazy. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna literally have like the whole like Fountain Square where the fountain is, that whole street going down there.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a stage set up at the end of it.
I need tickets.
They got like TVs
Somebody
or something
plug me for
gonna
tickets.
line the street.
Oh, word.
Like so it's gonna be like a for real like
Experience, huh?
yeah.
Somebody plug
Cool.
me.
No,
I'm not gonna be here.
Lone probably.
You got the 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐻 plug.
Yeah, he'll be in the backstage.
Hmm.
He'll
But,
be like,
but
"I'm with
Saturday,
Fantagram."
Saturday I have a beat set at Flanner House. I'm not sure what the event is yet because I haven't been told
Did
exactly
you read your
what's going on.
email?
No, I just got told that the DJ backed out, but he's replacing the DJ or something. So, but I'm doing a 15-minute beat set Saturday nights.
Oh, I'm gonna come check you out.
Nice.
Beats.
Is there anything else that we
Noise.
missed, gentlemen?
Hat?
It's a new hat.
Out of
there.
these
Yeah, it's new ad. Let's see. It's an orange joint. I can't ask for this one.
oinch.
Mike's already got 3 at the crib, different
Thanks.
colors.
Thanks, Bradley. Put my business out there in the street like that.
Well,
Let's
I mean,
see.
everybody knows you take all the hats. so-
I don't take all of them. I gave one to Terry.
Oh, you gave one.
Two to Terry.
Wow, you parted with 2.
2.
Only after you were
1
told.
after the coin toss.
I won it fairly in the
And
coin
and
toss.
we knew it.
Excuse me,
That's all.
Bradley.
That's all.
I'm trying to find the
Son.
name.
It's probably just
Odyssey
not on there.
3000,
It's a
yeah.
It's
dope.
the
it's
orange
a dope orange hat.
geometric.
Yeah, this
Design.
is dope though. I like this one. This is
Yeah.
Snapback.
from the Oddities line, snapback joint. It always has the pocket up there.
Yeah, and you can probably
This is
find it on
dope.
there. Assuming it's out, you can get it on
Make sure y'all check.
oddities3000.com.
Make sure y'all check out No Bad Ideas in the Oddities line that they have because they continue to drop a lot of creative material.
It's my wallet as well.
And if you're in the Patreon, you might just get that in the mail.
You could get this in the mail.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got the $6 hat
Yeah.
raffles. We also have the $20 option where we just give you one every time.
And shout out to Coleman Dental 317-255-8546. We want
Absolutely.
to make sure we keep those as the old folks say, keep the teeth is right.
Do we
Get
want
your teeth is right.
Do we want to talk about the intro music real quick?
Yeah. So here's the thing. The gentleman and I.
You see, the thing is this.
You know that thing?
You know that thing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We are thinking about possibly having a situation where it's either a raffle or you can submit to have, and this is for my producers out there. We will select from production that is sent in so that we can use your beat on the intro for our show. And what we'll do is we're going to extend the beat instead of just having a normal routine where we go in and we kind of go around the room and introduce anyone. We're going to let it breathe, if you will, for a little bit and also shout you out as a producer. So for your track, we'll probably keep it on maybe for a couple episodes. It'll get you into the wax raffle as well as the No Bad Ideas hat raffle
Yep.
that are from our Patreon site. So
And the community.
and the community as well. So this is something that we're working on. Check my Facebook page. I'll probably go live once we get everything cleared up.
Or just
But-
the New Old Heads Facebook page.
I'll
That's
go
a good
live from
place.
there.
Bong,
Sorry
bong.
about that. But yeah, producers, send us some heat. We're going to get everything set up.
Check the Patreon.
And you might hear your beat on a couple episodes. Longevity, DJ Jay Diff, DJ Spoolz. We are the new old heads. This was going to wrap up episode 49. Remember, subscribe. We got interviews. We got buttons. We got stickers. We got raffles. We got everything.
T-shirts.
T-shirts and more with my fake British accent. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Looking like that. Peace.